So we had a product in the college when I first started actually, where we would get a report that came through once a week, and it would show us some key themes and some key search criteria around online specifically. But of course, to receive a report on a Friday afternoon or on a Monday morning for the week just gone wasn't a terribly effective way of us managing risks and concerns and potential threats to our student population, but also to our staff population. Monday morning, and you'd be sort of scrambling around looking at timetables. Is the learner in today? Who is the learner? What happened? What was the context around what was flagged? And that's another key thing for us. I think when we saw the data at the end of the trial, it was sort of hard not to go with the product. You know, the data that we were receiving, the intel, the insight, it was absolutely invaluable. And I think all of us sat around the sort of the senior management team table were clear that, you know, for us, this wasn't about sort of could we afford it or how would we afford it. It was absolutely fundamental that it was part of how we support our learners in terms of their well-being and safeguarding. For us as an organisation, there's something really important around the human element of interventions and how we make sure that the data that's coming through to us and the information coming through to us is as clean as possible. The intelligence around the local threat libraries for us in Wales particularly, thinking about the Welsh language and thinking about how we comply with the Welsh language standards is really, really important. If you look at some of the searches and the incidents that come through to us, there are some acronyms or some words or phrases that we would realistically never ever have had any idea of before. But of course, because there is a real person at the end of the line, so to speak, that's fantastic. You feel that you've got a relationship with somebody rather than a computer or an algorithm doing something for you. And also the fact that I've got some assurance as a senior manager in the organisation that if something has been flagged that is of serious concern and risk to us, that I'm going to have somebody picking up the phone to me, having a conversation, and that I can get somebody within my team to action that and pick it up straight away. That's really, really important to us. We've had to think about the way that we work. Because of course the information coming through is real time. It's not a report at the end of a day or at the end of a week. We've had to think about how we structure our wellbeing and our safeguarding team so that when an incident is flagged or when the phone rings, we can make sure that we are proactive and responsive to what's coming through. And that's meant that we can free up resources to use them in different ways and more effective ways. An eSafe for me adds a layer of assurance whereby I know that students and staff participate in online or offline activity in the classroom or wider curriculum are being protected in terms of safeguarding, well-being, mental health, the whole raft. So it's really, really important to me, and I feel comforted around the fact that we've got some processes in place that really do robustly support us. At the moment, we're using the data in a way that enables us to identify across the year a range of activities that we can do with our learners. So that's anything from face-to-face delivery to workshops, to having organisations in to support, and even messages that we push out across our own social media platforms to support and enhance our expectations around living in British society, fundamental British values, but also starting to piece together any key trends or any key threats that may be coming onto our radar, and then looking at how we can build workshops or schemes of work or awareness raising within that finite resource to have the biggest impact within our sort of student body and student voice. It's friendly, it's really, really efficient, it's professional, and I know that if I have got a concern or a question that I can pick the phone up or I can drop an email and I'm going to get a response. And I would say probably in the initial period of our sort of relationship between eSafe and us as a college, I know I can be really hard to get hold of, but in terms of having that relationship manager who knows exactly what life is like on the ground, knowing that they will drop an email or leave a voicemail and I'll get back to them as soon as I can, is really helpful. That it's not pressurised, but actually we're moving towards a common goal, and you've got somebody at the end of the phone that wants to deliver the very best service for you. I'd absolutely recommend eSafe, both in terms of, as I said, the human intervention and the relationship management that we've got with eSafe as an organisation, but more than that, I guess the assurance levels we've got in terms of reporting and looking after our learners and our staff.